Body and Soul's home yoga video number 4. So today we will need for props a yoga mat. I happen to have two, you don't need to, just one going this way. Right? One mat. 2 wooden blocks, if you pick a foam, 2 yoga blocks. If you only have one, we can make do. And a strap. Okay. So those are the yoga props. A mat, 2 blocks, and a strap. Or 1 block. We can make do with 1 block. So if, how could I forget? 2 blankets. 2 blankets. If you only have one, we can get by with that too. So I have folded the blankets like this, you see? So I can put them one on top of the other, makes me a platform to sit on. So we sit on that and cross the legs. Feet out under the knees. And you see, with the height of the blanket, and you want to adjust so your buttock bones are squarely into the blanket. You see how I press down, lift up, and sit back down again. And you want to relax the legs and relax the feet. The feet are out under my knees, right? Instead of pulling them in like this, which keeps the legs up too high. Right? So bring the feet out a little, relax the feet and the legs, and sit up tall. So let the sitting bones descend into the blankets, and from there, lift up your side ribs, lift up your side ribs, lift up your back ribs and your front ribs. So this breathing diaphragm here, right, this breathing diaphragm is parallel to the floor, right, is parallel to the floor. It goes around front to back, and you want it parallel to the floor. So you're not tipping back, which the front of the respiratory diaphragm would go up, nor do you want to tip down. Have it parallel to the floor. And lift your chest, almost like smoke rings. You're lifting up here. Widen under the collarbones, release the shoulders down. And keeping this width in the chest by spreading the collarbones, join your palms in front of your sternum. Thumbs at the bottom of the sternum, fingers pointing away. Lift the sides of your sternum, lift the side ribs, roll your shoulders back, tops of the arms back, and let the inner borders of the shoulder blades release down. Close your eyes. Breathe a little deeper, a little slower. And settle into this pose called Sukhasana. Quiet face, relax your eyes, your jaw. With each inhalation, let that support the lift of your chest. And when you exhale, maintain the lift of the chest, but let the exhalations quiet behind the eyes. Now go on lifting your chest. Release your head down. Take your hands to your legs again. Inhale, lift your head. And looking towards the floor now, still your face parallel to the wall you're looking at, but your eyes gazing towards the floor, slowly open your eyes and lift your gaze to look outward. your legs out now, lengthening through the inner heels, the big toe mounds. Press down your fingertips on the sides of your blanket. Press down here and lift your chest. Lift the sides of the sternum, roll the shoulders back, the tops of the arms back, and release the inner borders of the shoulder blades down. So what I'm doing, I'll come a little closer to show. So we're lifting the sides of the sternum up and over, the inner borders of the shoulder blades coming down. So that creates this circular action in the chest, right? The frontal armpit ascending, the back of the armpit descending. With your legs stretched out, lengthening through the inner heels, the big toe mounds, pressing down with your fingertips, and take that action in your chest and your shoulders. Downward facing dog. So I'm doing it together with you today. Instead of demonstrating, we'll be holding the poses. Instead of demonstrating each pose and doing it with you, I'll just be doing it with you. And we'll be holding the poses long enough that you can see what we're doing. And I'll be giving some instructions also. So here, downward facing dog, it's important to start on all fours with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Then you take your hands forward about 6 or 8 inches, spreading the fingers, feet hip width apart, curl the toes under, and lift up. Keep the legs bent a little bit. Lift up the hips, and then as you stretch your arms, see my legs are still bent, you extend your arms all the way into the outer hips. Keep extending the arms more and more into the outer hips. Extend the inner arms also, and then draw up on the inner thighs to straighten the legs. Draw up on the inner thighs, heels up, draw up on the inner thighs, and keep extending the inner arms. Holding that, take your outer heels slightly down, the outer heels, but keep lifting up on the inner thighs. Extend the arms more and more. Relax your jaw, your throat, breathing in and out through the nose if possible. And then walk your feet towards your hands, but instead of standing up, take your fingertips to the floor, either in front of your feet or alongside your feet, but you see how I still have my head up and I'm lengthening my front chest out, still drawing up on the inner thighs. I reach out with the bottom ribs and swing down. The upper body is being taken down by gravity, letting the head hang. So gravity is helping us here as I draw up on the inner thighs, deep up into the pelvis. Let the back of the neck go. Find your breath. So the relationship to the legs and the upper body is interesting. The legs working, drawing the inner thighs up, spreading the toes, and connect that with the upper body completely releasing. Now lift your face, lift your chest, and by the way, if you're not reaching the floor here, you can take your 2 blocks, or if you have 1 block, you could do Uttanasana like this, or maybe the block a little higher, you see? But I'm keeping my legs perpendicular to the floor, so this is more of an extended Uttanasana. So now let's all lift the face, lift the chest, take your hands to your hips, and inhale, come up. Standing in Tadasana now, you see how I'm pressing down with the feet, drawing up with the inner thighs still, the inner thighs drawing up, pressing down into the heels, and getting that action in my chest, lifting the side ribs, spreading the collarbones, inner borders of the shoulder blades down. You can look at that another way, lifting the frontal armpits up and taking the back of the armpits down. And let's turn the face forward here. Now, Prasarita Padottanasana. I take my feet wide. Prasarita means wide, Padottanasana means wide foot or wide leg, forward bend. Now you see my hands are on my hips. I press down into the feet, drawing up on the inner thighs. I draw up on the inner thighs, and I take that action all the way up once again through the sides of the sternum, inner borders of the shoulder blades rolling down. And I take the tops of the arms back, frontal armpit ascending, back of the armpit descending. And now from the hip crease, I'm coming forward just 90 degrees. Right? See how I'm rolling the shoulders up? I press my hands into the hip crease. I'm drawing up on the inner thighs, spreading the toes. So stay in the pose looking at the camera so you can see here. I'll show a side view. See, pressing into the hip crease, side of the sternum extending, lengthening. Okay, so you can see that. Now I know you're facing the camera and I'm facing sideways, but see if you can bring your hands to the floor, but keep your head up and your front chest extending, keeping your head up. If you're not able to reach the floor, you can take 1 or 2 blocks, right? 1 or 2 blocks here. 2 would be better, but we can work with 1. So this is the Urdhva Mukha position, you see? I'm lengthening out with the side ribs and the front body. Okay, now to come up, heel toe your feet in till they're about 2 feet apart. Take your hands to your hips, roll the top of the buttock down, inhale, come up. Okay, so now I'll be facing the camera. So, what we'll do, I'm going to use 2 blocks, but I'll explain how you can work this with 1 block. So we're going to go into the standing poses using Prasarita Padottanasana. So take your feet wide. You have your blocks down, or maybe 1. If you have 1, you turn it sideways like that, or maybe like that. Okay? Legs nice and wide, heels out, toes in, press into your feet, draw up on your inner thighs, take that action up through the sides of the sternum, out through the collarbones. And get that action that we practiced in Sukhasana and Tadasana. Now from the hip crease, come forward. You see how I'm still reaching out with the front chest? And then take your hands to your bricks, right under your shoulders. Now, if you need to stand up for a second to see, but watch what I do here. I turn the left foot in slightly. I'm mirroring you, by the way. I turn my left foot in slightly, the ball mount, and the heel out slightly, right? Let me change that for a second. Just turn your left foot in slightly. And as you walk your blocks around, turn your right foot and leg all the way out. Come over here. You just need 1 block because we're going into triangle pose. We're going to open up into triangle pose from here, you see? So I opened up into triangle pose. Lengthen the side body, extend the arms. I'm pressing the right shoulder blade into the body, and I'm extending the left collarbone up into my left hand as I turn my waist and chest from right to left. Now I come back to Prasarita Padottanasana, head up, and I bring the right foot in, the left foot and leg way out. I walk over here, no sense taking both blocks. and I open up into triangle pose, bringing that left buttock underneath me and extending the side body, turning the chest, turning the chest. I press the left shoulder blade in and extend the right collarbone all the way up into the right hand. Keep the legs good and firm and extending. And then back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Keeping the legs wide, head up, chest up. Now we'll go right into extended side angle pose from here. Same idea. We don't need to take both blocks with us. As I turn the left foot in and the right foot and leg way out, I come over here, put the block outside the right foot, bend the left leg into a square, you see? The right leg into a square. And then turn the waist and chest, rolling the shoulder back like we did before. And then go ahead, if you're able to, extend the arm overhead. If not, keep your hand on your hip and roll the shoulder back. Go on pressing that outer left foot down. Make sure the right buttock is underneath you. Okay, now back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Head up. And we turn the right foot in slightly, the left foot and leg all the way out, and here we go. We walk around. Maybe you need your 2 blocks. And from here, this is a lateral pose. I bend the right leg, take the right hand off the block. I bend the left leg rather, take the right hand off the block, roll the right shoulder back, extend the arm up and over, keeping a good extension of the right leg and the outer right foot pressing down. Outer right foot pressing down. Left buttock underneath, turn the waist and chest. Okay, and back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Head up, chest up. And let's heel toe our feet in and take a little break here. Heel toe the feet in to about a foot apart. Hands on your hips. Roll the top of the buttock down. Inhale, come up. Tadasana. Press into your heels, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back. Inner borders of the shoulder blades down. Now, go into Prasarita Padottanasana again. Drop on your inner thighs. You know what? Bring your legs back together and watch me for a moment. We're going to go into Parivrtta Trikonasana from here. Now that's a bit of a challenge. So here, I draw up on the inner thighs, lift the chest as we've been doing, come forward, Urdhva Mukha Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, I'm going to lift the left foot up, lift the ball up on my left foot, turn it in, lift the heel up, turn it out. Then as I come around, I turn the right foot and leg way out. Now, I'm facing over the right leg. So see what I do? I take my block inside the foot, whatever height is appropriate for you, you'll figure that out probably. And with my right hand on my hip, I turn pressing the right shoulder blade in, pressing the left shoulder blade in, spreading the right collarbone, and then I extend the right arm up, turning more and more, pulling the top of this right leg back and pressing into the outer left heel as I turn more and more. Now, I realize that's the back view, so I'd like you to see the front. So here, I'm turning. Now, I could come into like a Parsvottanasana position with both blocks, And then keep my right hand pressing down, my left arm up, you see, and this is what it looks like from the front, turning more and more. I like to look down at the supporting hand there as I turn. This hip hitting back. And my right shoulder blade pressing in, you see? So that's the idea here. So let's come to Prasarita Padottanasana. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Come forward from the tops of your legs, hands to your bricks, or one brick you could do like this. I'll show the whole thing with one brick. Now lift the ball of your left foot up and turn it in. Lift the heel up, turn it out. Turn the right foot and leg all the way out and walk around here. Place your block inside the right foot. Pull the top of the right leg back, press your left shoulder blade in and down as you extend that right collarbone up. Turn more and more. Keep the outer left foot down. Exhale, release. Walk back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Head up. Turn the ball of the right foot in, the heel out. Left foot and leg way out. Walk around. So now you're facing over this left leg. Put your block inside the foot. And bring your left arm up to your hip. Press that right shoulder blade in and down and turn more and more. You can look down. Keep the outer right foot down. You can look down at the right hand as you extend. And turn. Good. And back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Lift your face, lift your chest. Heel toe the feet in. Hands to your hips. Inhale, come up. And bring your feet together now. We'll have Tadasana with the feet together. Roll the shoulders back, extend the arms down, lengthen through the fingertips. And then release. Now, we'll do Prasarita Parshvottanasana the same way from Prasarita Padottanasana. This is a walk in the park compared to revolved triangle pose. So I take my feet wide, lift the chest, rolling the shoulders back, I come forward, and here I am in Prasarita Padottanasana. I lift the ball of my left foot up, turn it in, lift the heel up, turn it out, right foot and leg way out, and I walk over, addressing this right leg. So I'm in line with the right leg. So this left waist is coming forward and down, pressing the top of the right leg back, reaching out with my chest. Now, some of you may have to have your blocks in a taller position, or if you're using one block, you can use it like this out here. So we're just going to work with the Urdhva Mukha position here, head up. Top of the right leg back, left waist rolling forward and down. Head up, chest up. And then we walk around, Prasarita Padottanasana. And now I lift the ball of the right foot up, turn it in, the heel up, turn it out. Left foot and leg way out, and I walk around here. Pressing the top of the left leg back, rolling this right waist forward and down, extending through that right heel. Urdhva Mukha position. Front chest reaching out. Okay, turn back to Prasarita Padottanasana. And now, instead of standing up, either stay here, 2 blocks, 1 block. Stay in the Urdhva Mukha position. If it's difficult for you to come forward, stay here. Otherwise, see if your hands will go to the floor under your shoulders. Keep drawing up on the inner thighs. Release the upper body down from the hip crease, from here. Release the upper body down. Walk your hands back towards the line of your heels. Turn the inner forearms forward and scrub the palms into the fingers to take your chest through your legs. Okay, now inhale, come up for a second. We're going to do that. Heel toe your feet in, and I'll show you from the side. So here's the pose from the side. We'll do it facing the camera, but from the side. Feet wide. Head up, chest up, and we come down. You see how I take the heels of the hands back in line with the heels of my feet. I keep drawing up on the inner thighs. Turn the inner forearms forward so the elbows come closer. And as I scrub the palms towards the fingers, I come more towards the legs. Relax your face. Let the back of the neck release. Draw up on your thighs. Okay, lift your face, lift your chest, heel toe your feet in. I realize I'm facing sideways. You're facing the camera. And then take your hands to your hips. Inhale, come up. Feet hip width apart, Tadasana. Top of the buttock rolling down, drawing up with your inner thighs, lifting the chest. And again, frontal armpits ascending, back of the armpits descending. And rest. Now, Parigasan means gate latch pose. We can do this together also. So you want to kneel on your mat. Now, you could take one of your blankets and put it out like this in the center of your mat. So it's centered in the mat. And a block out to the right. See, so here I am kneeling, and my knees are in line with the block. The block is near the front of the mat. Hands on your hips, it's like a kneeling Tadasana. Notice how this left leg remains vertical. And then I extend the right leg out, and I'm too close. So that's why this blanket is wide here like this. So I come over here, and I bring the foot up on the block, the right heel in line with the left knee, lifting the chest. Now I roll the right waist forward, you see. I roll the right waist forward and the left shoulder back. Extend the arms, and just like triangle pose, over you go. But here you're going to hold the right shin or ankle, left arm up at first, bring that right buttock underneath, roll the left shoulder back, and then bring the left arm over your ear palm face down. See how I'm fully extending that left arm. Bringing the right buttock forward towards the camera, rolling the left shoulder away from the camera. Extend and turn, extend and turn. Keep that right buttock in line with the right heel and the left knee. Inhale, come up. Second side. Bring the knees together. Over you go. We know we're going to need extra room, so here we have it. See how the thighs are perpendicular? Okay, I want to keep that. You can take your hands to the floor if you need to. Now, the ball mound of the foot is on the block, the heel is on the floor. My left heel is in line with the right knee. Lift your chest, roll the shoulders back. Now, I want to roll the left ribs forward and continue to roll the inner left thigh up. Extending the arms, over I go like triangle pose. And then like side angle pose. As you turn your leg from the inner to the outer, as you turn there, swoop the buttock underneath and extend this arm. Extend this arm. Roll the right ribs towards the wall behind you and take the left ribs towards the camera. And extend your arm. Extend that right arm fully. And then inhale and come up. Bring the knees together. And sit back and rest on your heels if you're able to do that, or just sit on the floor with your legs crossed. And rest. Now, Ardha Shirshasana. This isn't for everybody. I'll show the pose, we'll be practicing, but I have an alternative, so I will show the alternative as well. Now here, we want to take one of our blankets, fold it in half, like this, you see, and we'll put the folded edge in and the fringe edge right at the edge of the mat, okay? So the folded edge is facing in and the fringe edge is back. I may use this blanket, it's a little more visible. There we go. So here's the folded edge, there's the fringe edge. Okay? Now watch what I do here. So I'm kneeling, and I place the elbows right at the edge of the blanket, but you see how I'm turning my inner arms up? I'm turning my inner arms like this, right? Like that, and it has the proper effect of the upper arm turning from the inner to the outer. See? This. When you do this, the upper arms turn from the inner to the outer. And that's an important action in Ardha Shirshasana, half head balance. So here, the elbows are at the edge, I turn the inner arms up, then I interlace the fingertips to the bases, like this. Interlacing the fingertips to the bases, tips of the thumbs touching, and I'm going to stack my fingers vertically on the blanket, with the elbows no wider than the shoulders. I'm going to tuck my shirt in because the shirt always droops and it looks like my shoulders are dropping, but believe me, my shoulders are lifting. Okay, and so here, interlacing the fingers, I place the crown of the head on the floor, press down with the wrist bones, press down with the forearms to lift the shoulders. Curling the toes under, you see how I walk in, so you're just watching here. Press the back ribs in, you see? So I don't want this. Press the back ribs in as I walk in and up. So the hip crease is lifting. Look, I'm on my tippy toes. Pressing down with the wrist bones and the forearms lifting the shoulders. And then we'll come down. So I was just demonstrating there. We'll do that together. Now those of you who are not doing Shirshasana, if you're not going to practice that, what you'll do is downward dog with your head supported, if you're able to. So we'll work with that. It's dog pose, and then you move your chest towards your legs, and you lower your heels a little bit, and see if the crown of your head can find the block. You maybe add more to it. If you don't have another block, you could use a blanket, a folded blanket. But you see, I move the chest towards the legs to find the block. You certainly don't want to put the block out here under your head when you start, you see, because then you'll miss it. Okay, so choose which pose you're going to do and set up for that, head facing this way. And those of you that are going to do Ardha Shirshasana, half head balance, there's your blanket, folded edge facing inward. The elbows at the edge, turning the inner arms up, interlace your fingers, crown of the head on the floor, press down, walk in and up, keep pressing down, press the shoulder blades in. Those of you doing downward dog, head supported. Put the block back here a little, because remember, the chest is going to go towards the legs. You want your head to find the block without bending the elbows. So go ahead and do your practice there. Those of you in half head balance, press the shoulder blades in, press the back ribs in, lift your shoulders. Those of you in dog pose, keep the inner thighs lifting, moving your chest toward your legs. Grounding your head on a block, you can raise the support if you need to. Okay, exhale and everyone come on down and rest. Rest in child's pose. I didn't show that. Just any resting position with your head down. Now roll, don't roll anywhere, just inhale and come up. Okay, and watch here as I show you shoulder balance, Salamba Sarvangasana. We want 2 blankets. I'm a little near the wall here, so I'm going to fold this mat away. I don't need all of that space. And put 2 blankets here, like this. This time the folded edge is facing away. It's facing out, you see? There's your 2 blankets. So go ahead and do that. Now those of you that are not doing shoulder balance, it's okay. If you're not inverting today, still put your 2 blankets here. Okay. Now, for those of you actually doing shoulder balance, and let me show shoulder balance to you. I should have shown that from the beginning. So I'm going to fold that mat about halfway across. I put a block here, and I know I'm in your way, but here. Okay, there's a block. There's my mat folded halfway across. So this is shoulder balance. I want my hips on the brick, so I have a head start here, and my shoulders are on the edge of the mat, the blanket rather, but not right at the edge. They're in a little bit, my head on the floor, and the block is under my sacrum, you see. So this is shoulder balance. This is a full inversion, not to be done during menses, okay, or if you have eye pressure problems like detached retina. Watch here. You just take that leap of faith, alley-oop. Get your hands on your hips, keep your legs bent, relax your neck. The back of the neck should be long. You're just watching here, right? The back of the neck long. And then I work the knees towards the ceiling as I walk my hands nearer the shoulder blades without widening the elbows, you see? So now I'm stretching the inner legs up, bringing the back ribs in and the buttock in, and then extending the legs, okay? So you see I'm in a little away from vertical shape like this. That's fine for today. It's fine. Let the back of the neck be long. Relax your jaw. And those of you who have practiced before and are able to walk the hands in further down rather, and the knees up and stretch straight up, by all means, go ahead and practice that. So that's shoulder balance. The alternative today is you open up this mat. Okay, so you have this way here. You open the mat and you have your strap available and 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, we'll use no blocks. And you can do this pose without the blocks. So here, the shoulders on the blanket, the head off like before, and I bring these blocks to a position about an arm's length away so I can get my heels to hang off the blocks a little, you see? The heels are slightly hanging off so they don't, so my feet don't slide. All right, now I take a belt. See, I'm still keeping my hips lifted, and I throw the belt over the ankles. And I make the belt really short. Press down with your feet, lift your buttock, and look how I'm tucking my shoulders under, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Center of the buttock up, center of the buttock up, inner arms turning up. You see, inner arms turning up, lifting the buttock, pressing down with the inner heels, and pushing the heels into the block. So that's called Chatuspadasana. Now, notice I don't drop my hips all the way to the floor. I don't want to end up in this kind of back bend. I'm careful not to do that. I'm going to rest by borrowing this block and putting it under my sacrum. Okay, if you remember all of this, that would be amazing. And rest. So Chatuspadasana, for those of you who are not inverting, or shoulder balance. So go ahead, set up your props. And go ahead up into your shoulder balance. If you remember, you had your mat folded. Those of you that are up, just be up. But those of you that are saying, what was that he just did? I don't remember. You have your block, you have your, this is for shoulder balance, right? You have your sticky mat halfway across, the brick here. You don't need a strap for your shoulder balance today. So remember this, and then you come up. Don't turn your head. And you come down, same way you went up, with your hips on your bricks. And then you roll, you rest there for a bit, roll to your right side, and slowly come up. Those of you in Chatuspadasana, it's not really that much different. If you're up into Chatuspadasana, stay in it. Otherwise, if you're not sure, I'll show it again. Those of you in your poses, reflect and connect, be with. As Krishnamurti would say, be with what is. Okay, and you'd have your heels like this, and the strap over your ankles, turn your inner arms up, pull on the strap, lift the buttock. Now those of you who have been up for a while, come on down out of your pose. And rest. And those of you that just got up into your poses, whichever one, hold it a little bit longer. And now exhale and come down. Remember, if in Chatuspadasana, don't drop your hips all the way to the floor. You can use the block under there. You can move the block from your foot to under the sacrum. And rest. So everyone resting on their back. And then roll to your right side and slowly come up. And now, watch here. We won't be needing our blankets. Well, we really keep one blanket handy folded like this just in case. No, not for this pose, sorry. So you don't need any blankets, you don't need blocks, you don't need a strap for this next pose. This next pose is called Jakra Parvartanasana. We're going to be doing this with bent legs, okay? So I'll show from the side, which is the way we'll do the pose, with our feet facing where our head was before, lying on the back, with the arms stretched out like a letter T. Okay, arms stretched out like the letter T in line with the shoulders. You bend your legs, bring your knees to your chest, you see. I'm showing you here. And then we'll roll the knees towards the right elbow, but I keep the left shoulder down by pressing down with the right arm, lengthening through the right buttock. Inhale, come up, and I'll do the other side, right? Knees together, feet together. And then inhale, come up. So go ahead and lie on your back. Extend your arms out like a T, in line with your shoulders. Bend your legs to your chest. Now press down with your arms, keep your sideways lifting, knees and feet together, roll your knees just below the right elbow, knees and feet together, roll your waist and chest to the left. I'm doing it with you. Press your right foot up into your left foot so your shins are parallel to the floor, and then inhale, come up. Go on pressing down with your arms, take your knees just about 2 inches below your left elbow, lengthen through the left buttock, knees and feet together, lift your chest and turn to the right, turn to the right. And then inhale, come up, feet on the floor. And now, if you're in a comfortable position, you can go right into Shavasana, okay? So we move to the center of the mat, adjust yourself, and I'll show Shavasana. Watch here. You extend the legs out. First of all, make sure the buttock flesh is going towards the heels. Stretch the legs out, let the legs roll out, let them rest. Shoulder blades tucked under just a little bit, and hands out wide enough to release the shoulders. If you're feeling pressure on the sacrum, you have to roll the buttock flesh a little more towards the heels, you see? So go ahead and take Shavasana, feet facing where your head was before, unless that's not possible with your mat. Now, everyone that's in the pose, please stay. Those of you who are uncomfortable in the neck, the chin is up a little too high, you take one of your blankets. That's what I was going to show before, but it was too soon then. And you fold your blanket in half like this, and the pillow goes under your neck and your head, but not under your shoulders. Okay, not under your shoulders. So you can take Shavasana like this. So everyone completely let go. Rest your eyes, your jaw, your tongue. Let go your arms, your hands. Let the fronts of the legs fall into the backs of the legs. Let go the arches of your feet. be still. Move your fingers, your toes. Bend your legs. And go ahead and roll onto your right side. Be heavy on your right side. Let your left arm come over so you're not doing a twist. And then roll a little more to the right. Push yourself up with the left hand. And take any seated position facing this way. Head releasing down, chest lifting up. Inhale, lift your head and join your palms. Lift your heart and bow your head. Inhale, lift your head and gazing towards the floor, slowly open your eyes and lift your gaze to look outward. Namaste. Thank you.